There are two things missing from my face. Yep. So let's rectify that. I am going to show you how I like to do my brow, and hopefully you will get some good tips on how to do yours. As you can see, I have semi-decent amount of natural hairs there, but they are a little bit gappy and they sort of do thin out a little bit along the edge, so I do like to fill in the edges there. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. So if you want to learn how I do it and maybe do the same as me, then keep watching. I will also do some of it with a wind-up pencil, and then some with powder, so you can see how you can do it with both. Okay, let's go. Just brushing the brow hairs down helps you to be able to see where there's kind of a faint line there. And so I haven't got, where are we? I haven't got this up too much. It's just a really small amount. And you can use any brow pencil, whether it's, yeah, any brand. High end, low end, doesn't really matter. This color that this is dark brown. So I'm following along where the hairline is there, but I'm also going like just the tiniest amount above, and then the brow starts to curve a little bit here, so I'm just following that down along, just doing little strokes at a time, and I'm pressing pretty lightly too. So there you can see I've done the top. Then I'll brush them up, brush all the hairs up. Now I have trimmed them a couple of days ago, so like when I trim them I just brush them all up and then cut along real gently to get in the same direction. And then under here I'm going to do the same, not starting right at the start of the brow, just back a little bit. Really light-handed. And then following along again like we did on the top. There, so now you can see there's a lot more shape, it's a lot more defined. Now I'm just going in and filling in any of the little parts that are a bit gappy. Oops. Just winding up a little bit more. I never wind them up too far. Otherwise, when you're gently pressing, you can snap it off and then you're wasting product. Just brushing it through. Kind of pushes a lot of the product around as well. And see, then if I wanted to define a few more areas on that brow, I can do that with a powder. So I'll do it with a powder now and show you what I'm doing. So you can use a eyeshadow, you can use a brow powder. It's really up to you if you have one that you like the color of. I'm just going to go in, I have a brow palette, so I'm just going to use a bit of that just to fill in and define sort of from like here back. So I'm just going in with kind of a neutral brown tone. out my little mirror again. A lot more defined. This is just the way I like to do my brows. I find sort of every 6 months or so I do sort of change up the way that I do it. Maybe it's like using a new product or something. So this isn't how I've always done this. The step that you could do to finish that brow is to go in with a brow gel and just sort of brush it in there and get all of the hairs to stay put, especially if you have quite a lot of hair in your brow. That will actually help to hold them in place so that they're not going to be all over the show. But if you want a messier look, you can also push the brows up so that the natural hair that you have there kind of stick out a little bit. As I said, I've trimmed mine, so you can kind of either brush them up or you can just sort of smooth them along the top there so that you've got a smoother line. I'll pull the bottom. I'm just going to start on the bottom for this one. I find using eyeshadows or powders on the brow can make it look a little bit more natural too, because it's softer and you can get quite a light colour through, not too heavy. I've never really been a fan of the pomades. I've only tried a couple though, so you never know, like I may try one and fall in love with it, but I always find that I gravitate back quite often to using a powder or a brush. So just doing those really small strokes, slowly gathering that shape. And I don't necessarily try and make my brows match, because my brows don't match. They're both very different in shape. So I just work with what I have. I think it would take me a lot longer in my getting ready time. I'd end up spending too much time on my brows. And this, for me, for now, is just sort of my foolproof way of doing my brows. And I'm just using a little angled brush there. And sometimes I find if I look at it and I think, oh, I don't really like that there, then I can just go in with the brush end and sort of soften it, lighten that up a bit. See, one brow done just with powder, and then the other brow was done with mainly a eyebrow pencil. This one's called a Brow Boss, and a little bit of powder just to fill in the extra spots. So that's how I like to do my brows currently. And they last really well for me, fairly simple. I'm normally in quite a hurry in the mornings, so I don't take too long on my brows, but this is a really kind of foolproof way for me to do it, whether I want to use just the brow pencil or whether I want to use an eyeshadow or a brow powder or combine the two. It's really easy, just doing the top and the bottom and then filling in between. Please feel free to give me any feedback or products that you think that I should try. Just comment below, let me know, tag me in, and yeah, I will try them out. Thanks so much for watching.